MF Doom.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Villain.
What up, nigga?
Ain't nothing. What's the word?
It's cracking, boy.
Same old shit, kid.
Man,
Day,
rap snitches, man. Shit is bugged out, man. What the fuck, man?
Shit, telling me.
Niggas running their mouth. Telling everything. Everything.
Critical.
Rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Tight profile, low, like 8 and paid in full. Attract heavy cash, cause the game's centrifugal. Mr. Fantastic, long though like elastic. Got my life with twin Glocks that's made out of plastic. Can't stand a brown nosing nigga, fake ass bastard. Admiring my style, tall bust through Manhattan, plotting, playing the quickest. My flow's the sickest, my hoes be the thickest. My dro, the stickiest. Street nigga, stamped and bona fide. When beef jump, niggas come get me cause they know I ride. True to the ski mask, New York's my origin. Play a fake gangster like an old accordion. According to him, when the D's rushed in, complication from the wild testimony was thin. Caused his man to go up north, the boy hit him again. Lame rap snitch nigga, even told on the Mexican. Rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years.
True, there's rules to this shit. Fools dare care. Everybody wanna rule the world with tears for fear. Yeah, tell it on the mountain hill. Running up their mouth bill. Everybody doubting still. Informer, keep it up and get tested. Pop through your bubble vest or double-breasted. He keep a lab down south in the Little Beast. So much heat you would've thought it was the Middle East. A little grease always keeps the wheels a spinning, like sitting on 23s to get the squealers grinning. Hitting on many trees, feel real linen. Spitting on enemies, get the steel for 10 men with no brains but gum flap. He said his gun clapped, then he fled after one slap. Son, shut your trap, save it for the bitches. Delicious, rap snitch, delicious.
You know what I'm saying?
It's terrible.
Crazy, man. I'm just analyzing this whole game. It's just bugged out, man. Niggas snitching, telling on their own self.
It's a horror.
Fuck around, gonna get everybody bag, man.
Atrocity.
Fuck around and get your mama bag, man. You know your grandma used to be bootlegging, fake hustling, nigga. Yeah, I'm right here.
Check. Okay, I think we're back. Hold on. Gotta make sure. You guys hear me? Okay, you guys can hear me. Perfect. All right, we're good. All right, hold on. Yours truly is not in the mix. Let me fix it up real quick, and here we go. Oh, we're so back. Welcome back to a Saturday night. Oh, at the Whitty Weekly News Show. I'm never going to get that right. I am just too much of a maniac when I come on Saturday's show because I know I can go pure rated R on everything, sometimes NC-17. But guess what? No drinky poof tonight. I'm not going to be getting sloshed on camera. So you're welcome. And also, I'm sorry. But, well, the fun will always keep going. Because there's a lot to talk about tonight, especially what's happened in the last 24 hours, too. If in Indianapolis, for those who don't know, there was a bunch of shootings that happened last night. I was listening to Broadcastify when it was happening, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up to find out that 7 people had been shot over in Monument Circle, or at least in downtown Indy area, and two kids, juveniles, were killed. So we'll talk about that here in a second, but I got this from an anonymous. So this was the Interim Study Committee on Economic Development. This was back in 2011. So it was at the Subaru Indiana Automotive Center in Lafayette, Indiana. You can see all the people here. It was from the project director from the Indiana Automotive Council. But what I wanted to show you real quick was, let me move this real quick. There we go. Was the weakness of the automotive industry from what it looks like. I'll read a little bit more about this later if I remember. The SWOT analysis of like the strengths, the human capital, the work ethic, the manufacturing, strong universities, innovation, but the weaknesses of Indiana for the automotive, not a right to work state, which I thought we all are. Slow curriculum approval process, whatever that means. We're pro guns at work laws. Hey, guess what? This is America. Go fuck yourself. All right. If I want to bring an AR into the workplace, I am free to do so. If somebody else wants to bring a bazooka into the workplace, they are free to do so. If someone can strap a nuke on and scream out "Hala Akbar," they are free to do so. But I don't recommend it because the person with the AR will definitely be taking you out. So, also the anti-immigration and anti-gay legislation laws. Are we back? Wait a minute. Are we back? I mean, this was 2011. Things have really weakened up now. But moving on. Speaking of Sean Connery not giving a fuck, this might be like one of my favorite interviews from Maddock in the house. Let's go, Ducky. Let's go. All right, so this is really cool of what happens when like when things merge. So Maddock, I met up or we saw in the Robin Casey YouTube page, and Maddock seems very super cool, saying good morning. We always have a good time on the YouTube chat. I'd like to think so anyway. Ducky, super cool. Would you agree, Kiff? Strong soldier. But Sean Connery going heads up against Barbara Walters, and this was the funniest comment. Was like, looked like Barbara was all turned on.
Okay, you did an interview in which you said, not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist, it's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No.
Oh.
Not at all.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good. I
think it's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What
Look at that look.
would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. Yeah? They want to have the
She's so, like, I wouldn't say turned on, but it's definitely piquing her curiosity right now. It's like, what is it like to be slapped by Sean Connery? You know, maybe just a little bit of slap on the tushy. And then we'll make sure that you're going to get your right up, make me a sandwich, and maybe iron my shirt. The comments on here. Let's see. Connery was 40 years married. Walters managed max of 8 in 3 marriages. Oh my God. I did not even know that. Moist. Yeah, definitely moist. Wetness is on the books. Snail trail as soon as she gets off of that wicker chair. Anyway, speaking of thick Nick and getting moist, boys, girls, what do you think about me going to a fat black lady picnic? It's happening in August in Chi-Town, Chirac, Afghanistan. And I'm just thinking to myself, you know, what is that? No hoe is allowed? Or I don't know if that says HIV or hose. I'm not sure. Either is not good, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to take the trip up to Chirac. And hopefully none of you have eaten dinner yet, because these are some awful, god-awful pictures. I mean, just some god-awful pictures. Definitely up Abdul's aisle. Not mine, though. But did you guys see the Libertarians yesterday during 4th of July? I mean, not only were they sweating their balls off, but you can see a major tan line. So this is the lady who's probably going to be running for Secretary of State against Diego next year. And the funniest part is that there's a Donald Rainwater sign. Like, what are we doing here? I thought Rainwater's not running for governor again. He's not running for anything. So what are we doing here, boys and girls? I don't get it. But whatever. So also there's an official curfew now for downtown, which is absolutely ridiculous. It needs to be harder, to be honest with you. So 15 to 17 years of age may not be in a public place between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday. What are we talking about? After 11 p.m. on a Sunday through Thursday, before 5 a.m. before Monday through Friday. Yeah, Charisse right here. Charisse Coleman is totally right. 1 a.m. is too late. Also says 1 a.m. to 5 p.m. I think it says 5 a.m. But then states 11. No, 1 a.m. is too late. Look at that. 1 a.m. is giving them time to do something crazy. Yeah. So a 15-year-old can be out till 1 a.m. Am I reading this right? Yeah. See, even everybody in the comment section is totally right. They're all saying 1 a.m. is way too late, which, by the way, I completely agree. Listen, this isn't 1998 anymore, okay? We're in 2025 where we have the ABCs going on. Not Gabe Whitley in the chat right now. But all right, so going back to this though, can you imagine yourself when you were a 15-year-old? When I was 15 to 17, I was not even really out till 1 a.m. at all. Unless, like, when I worked at McDonald's when I was 15 to 17, I was out by like 11 o'clock, and I was so exhausted. And, you know, this is actually a much bigger picture too. All these children, they don't have a job, so they have tons of energy, and really the only way you're going to fix this is with two things. They have a father and they have a job, and they have zero. They have 0 for 2 so far. All right, so a juvenile who is accompanied by a parent, guardian, or custodian or adult. A juvenile who is accompanied by an adult specified by a parent, guardian, or custodian. Blah, blah, blah. It's not going to, I don't know how well it's going to work. I don't know if you guys remember this last year, though. They were having like, I think the last year was the first year that they really tried doing it like hardcore. And they were bringing like a bus with them. The paddy wagon, as some would say, too. I think the paddy wagon was actually taking them to a bus. I think I even heard some cops talking about how they actually took them home. I don't know if you heard the Chris Bailey interview. Yeah, well. well. Hey, who would have thought? Am I right? But I don't know if you heard Chris Bailey talking about what happened last night. This was like super early in the morning. And he talked about how I don't know if it was him or another cop, two female juveniles were going to go into a stranger's car, and so they could take them home. Like, first off, are you fucking stupid to think that you should go into a stranger's car? Probably. And this was like 1 o'clock in the morning, I think. But then he was like, where are your parents? Why are your parents not picking you up from downtown where you actually have to go into a stranger's car for allegedly take you home? Like, listen, ladies, you are going to be drugged and raped. There's no doubt that was going to be happening. So could we just have like less dumb people? That's all I'm asking. Is that too much to ask for? All right. So another thing too, which we'll get into that here in a second, but Micah Beckwith got slammed for an allegation that Democrats pay for black voter turnout. Now, this would be so funny if this were true. I mean, honestly, I hope that it is true, because then Micah would be like validated, vindicated, and by another Beckwith W. By the way, nobody said anything. I've been trying to get the uppity on it too. I've been trying to figure out if this was true or not. So far, not so much. I would not be surprised if it was, though. And the only reason I say that is that maybe they're not like, hey, we're going to give you money. It's maybe, hey, we're going to help you out with something. Like a church. You have like a black church, and you're trying to convince all the other blacks at the church, hey, you should go vote for Andre Carson. He's actually a really good guy, even though it does seem like he has an Epstein-style house right off the canal. But who could say? All right, this might be the funniest thing, though. Now, if you guys remember the No Kings protest from a few weeks ago, July 4th was supposed to be No Kings protest 2.0. So what did all these land whales do? They all went to Garfield Park, and they had their No Kings protest 2.0 over there. And it's so funny because obviously you guys know that I was at the first one, and people were bitching about the shakiness of it, and they said, I need to go get a gimbal. I was like, I would be very surprised if there's going to be any more protests heading into the summer. And they're like, are you kidding me? Are you sure? And it's like, tell you what, if there is another protest, I will pick up a gimbal. Tell me which one I should get. So I was probably going to spend $100 on a gimbal. And then this protest came up. I'm like, there's no way they're going to have another protest. You're basically one and done. Did you see, like, all the fat people at that protest? Credit where credit is due. There were like a bunch of cows going through, grazing around. And they had a pretty good, they're doing pretty well until it got wet out. Then, everybody scattered. They're like, the rain is their kryptonite. Like, why did nobody bring an umbrella? I was soaked. I mean, I was totally cooked. There are a lot of people. But obviously, all the same physiognomy. This lady looks like she has AIDS. Listen, you have to watch out for women with tattoos. That's your number one. You gotta watch out for like 3 things. You gotta watch out for fat women. You have to watch out for women that have like the septum piercing, and then you have to watch out with women with tattoos. Now there is a level on the trustness of women with tattoos. If they have a chest tattoo, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. She will bang you like crazy. She might as well just have daddy problems tattooed on the top of her chest. Leg tattoos, that is a hard no too. Probably gives really good sloppy toppy, most likely. If she has a septum, she has like all 3. If she goes for the trifecta, you're getting some. All right, it's guaranteed. She's gonna slug you in the mouth. The number 11 is what I call it, and she's gonna be spitting on you while she's screaming out, "Daddy, no!" Oh, there, there it is. There it is. I was waiting for it. Here come the text messages. You son of a bitch. Hey, am I wrong though? How do you know this? Yeah. How would I know this? Hey, there was an evil Whitty back in the day, and I killed him. Now he's just a sweet and cute little guy in 2025. Anyway, Garfield Park sucks. Burn that whole place to the fucking ground. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I got yelled at so many times when I was campaigning over there. Nothing would make me happier than watching that whole place burn to the ground. Fuck that joint. Oh, it was No King's birthday? Wait, your birthday's July 4th, Jimmy? Jimmy Bennett in the house. Let's go. What is up with the, so Jimmy Bennett is my number 2 fan at show. So Special Power is my number 1 fan. Okay, that's interesting. When did this happen? Because I first noticed it with, with Kendall and Casey. Well, when I saw like the number 1 fan, so I made sure that I was like typing in so much stuff. It's like, I'm your number 1 fan. I'm going to be the number 1 crown on the YouTube chat, damn it. It's so funny. Oh, happy birthday, Jimmy. I would have texted you happy birthday if I knew. Let's go. That's awesome. All right, so we all saw what happened downtown last night. And it's a giant mess. So overall, okay, it is whoever comments the most. All right. Well, you guys better catch up. I need a new number 1 fan. Actually, I want to go to this part real quick. All right, so before we get to that,
Questions if you have one.
Christmas Mayor.
We'll open it up for questions if you have one.
Christmas Mayor. Based on what downtown's experience over the last night, in the past couple of weeks, do you feel that downtown is still a safe place? And what's it going to take to convince the merchants who live down there, the residents who live down there, and all the people who've done all this hard work that downtown is still statistically relatively safe?
Did you hear that? I'm going to play it one more time, all right? Because this is very important. Abu, he is leading Hogshead, and they say, hey, you know what? According to the data, downtown's still safe, okay? Rusty Jones, let's go.
Over the last night, in the past couple of weeks, do you feel that downtown is still a safe place? And what's it going to take to convince the merchants who live down there, the residents who live down there, and all the people who've done all this hard work that downtown is still statistically relatively safe?
And look at that. And this is what's funny, because you see You see the GOP saying is like the mayor says downtown. Well, Abdul was leading that question, and I see it with other people too, with them commenting. He's like, the mayor still says it's safe. Says downtown is safe, and he said, only 6% of the crimes in Indianapolis comes from downtown. It's like, all right, well, people are not going to feel safe going downtown. I think this happened at 1 o'clock, something like that. Let me look it up real quick. Not that I'm talking about it. Hold on, let me I think it was pretty late. I thought it was at 1 o'clock. Hours. This was at 3:22 a.m. So yeah, it was very late into the morning. Yeah, it's up. It's all the way up. Hold on, did you guys not hear that? Good. Hold on, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me. Hold on, let me play it back real quick. Scanner is blowing. Yeah, the scanner is blowing up last night. Okay, hold on. Let me play it up. No. That's up. Oh, hold on. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, Abdul, the truth is...
Round tap.
We'll open it up for questions if you have any.
Chris, Mr. Mayor, based on what downtown's experience over the last night, the past couple of weeks, do you feel that downtown is still a safe place? And what's going to take to convince the merchants who live down there, the residents who live down there, and all the people who've done all this hard work that downtown is still statistically relatively safe?
Yeah, Abdul, the truth is the downtown remains the safest neighborhood in our community. Now, it's marred by events like last night. And what we don't focus on is the progress that not only downtown, but the city as a whole has made in our gun violence reduction strategy. Last night, when this is covered in the news, it's normal for people to say, ipso facto, downtown is not safe. And I think all of us are committed to making sure that when people do come downtown, they can come downtown with the assurance that nothing bad is going to happen to them or any of their family.
Hold on. This is the most important part because of what Chris Bailey. I listened to this whole thing, by the way.
Can I just add on to that, a little bit of that? I mean, look what we've hosted in downtown Indianapolis over the last 2 years, 1.5 years. Hundreds of thousands, if not, represents about 6% of the total crime every single year in our city. We are a big city. This is not a sleepy small town. It's unfortunate when these things happen. We're all committed to doing our part to help reduce that. In my budget, as the IMPD chief, we spend a lot of money to make sure downtown is protected and that investment is protected. But we're also responsible for 350 square miles across the entire county. And so we care about every single neighborhood. But as the mayor said, I'm coming downtown tonight with my family, and I'll do it again next weekend if I have to. Downtown is a safe place to be, but after midnight, nothing really good happens.
There you go. That's the most important part, what he just said. Nothing after midnight, it doesn't happen. Nothing good happens after midnight. And that's and the reason why that's the most important part is because you're saying that, hey, after 1 o'clock, the children from 15 to 17 are okay with being out until 1 a.m. Well, Bailey, you just said nothing good happens after midnight. So why don't you make that until 11 o'clock instead? Yeah, whoa. We can talk about that, Jimmy, because I've been looking into that. I don't know if you guys saw the post that we had on Indy Reporter. I think I posted it up on Facebook too. But I mean, when I found out that what was going on downtown was at, it was like 3 in the morning. And, hold on, let's see if I can find it. I was like, what is going on here right now? Okay, here we go. Biggity bam. All right, here we go right here. So we posted this up on Indy Reporter a few days ago. Indianapolis Office of Public Health and Safety, aka Indy OPHS, funds the Indy Public Safety Foundation. In 2022, OPH gave Indianapolis Public Safety Foundation $4.1 million. According to their 2023 990, they had gotten $4.3 million in revenue. Now, that's government grants and that's donations. $3.6 million of that was government grants. The total program expenses were $5.4 million. $4 million of that was sent to I think it's a nonprofit or it's just an organization called Indy Peace. Now, Indy Peace has a bunch of felons working for them. So, I'm not here to talk crap about former felons that said, hey, I used to shoot people and I used to get shot up too. But when you spend $4 million on one particular program and it's not panning out, I'm going to want to know what's going on with my money. What is my money actually being spent on? Where the crap is it? What are we doing? Impact. Maybe this is it. Yeah, here it is. All right, so you got these people right here. These are the Indy Peace leadership, deputy director, president, vice president, and lead manager. And then these are the program managers, the data manager. I don't know about you, but this guy seems really thuggish. I'm not going to lie. Not somebody that I'm going to want to meet in an alley. That's for sure. But our partners, the Indy Public Safety Foundation and OPHS. But OPHS funds the Indy Public Safety Foundation that gives you money. And you know why I think they're doing it this way is because so there's no accountability. They're saying it's like, hey, you know what? We're handing all this money out onto nonprofits, hoping that we're going to get the best out of them. It turns out, spent $4 million on nothing. Who would have thought, huh? But it's not even just that. Hogsett it's a 3-year, $150 million comprehensive violence reduction strategy. Since 2022, 238 total grants have been made to 127 nonprofits. In 2024, I'm pretty sure 51 grants totaling more than $9 million will be distributed to Indianapolis organizations. Now, this was from CICF. I forgot what the acronym actually stands for. But right here, they're elevation grants. Now, I don't know if they're teaming up with CICF or who else they're teaming up with. Oh, so it's Indianapolis Foundation. That's what it is, which is like this giant scummy nonprofit. This should be a good episode. Ryan Wilson in chat. Let's go. But here's the thing. Like, what are we actually spending the money on? There's no accountability. And this is why I think they're doing it this way. Because OPHS can't just give Indy Peace money and then it's like, hey, you got to find out. We need to know what you're spending the money on. It's more or less OPHS is giving the money to one nonprofit, and then that nonprofit is going to another organization. And by the way, we have the receipts. We got them right here. Oh, what's this? The 990? Of course. Oh, what's that? $4 million? $701,000? $300,000? $201,000? $135,000? And guess what? All of these things lead up to what? These right here. Any public safety foundation, apparently Frontline, whatever that is, but it all goes into these things right here. But where is it funded by? It looks like IFD, EMS, OPHS, and maybe IMPD. I don't know. But all these organizations, they're teaming up and giving money to them. And what are we getting out of it? Nothing. Because we only really need to do one thing. Enforce the law. Say it with me in the YouTube chat. Give me ones in the chat. Enforce the law. That's all we got to do. Prosecutor, you do your job. IMPD's doing their job already. All the arrests can be made that you want. All the curfew, it doesn't even matter. But the prosecutor's not doing their job. Then what does all this matter for? I haven't even started yet. I have not even excited yet. Once you hear me groan, once you see me grinding my teeth, once you see me white knuckling right now, that's when you know. But right now, I'm keeping a tone. I'm actually keeping a tone down right now, for now anyway. But we'll get there. Anyway, so when I see Indy GOP, when I see other people talking about, hey, the mayor says downtown is the safest neighborhood in our community. Abdul led up to that question. That's the main thing that we have to remember. This was in Hogsett's independent thought. This was allegedly Republican. Abdul, the same guy who says, I'm turning into a liberal the older that I get. There we go. But anyway, Indy GOP still blows. 4 hours ago is when they actually made a statement or was commenting on it. I mean, where were you guys this morning? Nowhere. Same thing with Michael Paul Hart, 5:36 p.m. You had this entire time. And by the way, he's borderline calling out the courts, the prosecutor's office, and the mayor's administration. He's just saying, hey, you know, we need greater transparency in our courts, serious attention from the prosecutor's office, and urgency from the mayor's administration and this council. And remember, 2 weeks ago, he was on Tony Katz. Michael Paul Hart was on Tony Katz, and Tony Katz was asking him, was like, "Why aren't you calling for the mayor to resign?" And what did Michael Paul Hart say? He's like, "I gotta work with the mayor's office. Listen, the people are expecting me to get things done, and I just can't be." Basically, he's saying, "I can't be critical against Joe Hogsett. He's the only way that I can get things done." Oh, don't worry, Mr. Hogsett. I'll kiss the ring. Oh, do you need your shoes shined? Oh, let me get Thomas Cook. Maybe we'll double it up together, huh? Oh my God, these people are the worst. Where the fuck is Natalie Goodwin at? Nowhere. I was really hoping something from Josh Bain, but it's fine. Where's anybody at? Where's Julie McGuire at? Actually, that's a good question too. Where's Julie McGuire? Has she said anything? Apparently $85 million in miles. I don't think this is what downtown merchants were expecting when the additional tax downtown was levied. Well, guess what? Republicans are loving it. When was this, an hour ago? What the fuck has she been doing all day? 7:03 p.m. and now she's saying something. Unbelievable. You know what probably happened? She probably got the call from Rick FOP, from Rick Snyder. Is like, hey, you know, go ahead and use all my stuff out there. It might help you look good. When we've been posting this stuff up all day, I've been listening to the interviews, Bailey's one and that one. I was dying. By the way, if you guys want a good laugh, listen to the beginning of this thing where you have like these three black dudes talking about, you know, we're all in this together, and you know, give me a call and stuff. It was one of the fun. Yeah, this guy right here. Listen, you got a backwards hat on. I can't take you serious, okay? I just can't do it. Yeah, make the kids pick up the garbage and clean the graffiti if they're out, or two, change the parents with neglect. Well, so Bailey had actually brought that up, was charging the kids with the parents with neglect, and there was something else too. But we all know that Ryan Mears is not going to do anything. We all know that Ryan Mears has a prosecutor's race next year, and then he's going to be making a run for mayor, and he has to make sure that he does not arrest his voter base. Hey guys, I know that you guys are causing a bunch of trouble, but can you just chill it out for like 2 years? Can you just tone it down? Otherwise, you're going to make me look bad. I'm going to have to start doing my job. Don't make me do my job. That Nosferatu looking motherfucker. But as usual, well, this was interesting from Jay Jackson. I think she's with Indy Star, maybe. Yeah. He learned about one of the victims from last night's shooting. His family reached out saying the teen was 3 of 4 boys his mother has lost to gun violence. This is heartbreaking. They live in another state, but were visiting Indy off and on for the summer. Hey, guess what? Maybe you're doing a bad job at parenting if 3 of 4 of your boys have been murdered because of gun violence. I'm just going to throw this out there. What are you doing about it to make sure that they're not out? Ah, this is heartbreaking. I got like a bunch of jokes that I just thought of, but I'm not going to say anything. But don't you think if like after their first son was killed from gun violence, you're probably thinking to yourself, all right, well, I got 3 more, and now they're down to 1 more. What happens when that last one dies from gun violence? What is going to happen after that? That's what I'd like to know. I gotta turn my... Getting distracted. What exactly are you going to do about it, huh? Are you going to make sure that that last pup of yours isn't going to go out and cause a bunch of trouble or even be a part of that trouble? Plus, like, how old is your teenager? What is your teenage son doing out until 1 or 3 in the morning? That is just garbage parenting, okay? Craziness to me. Yeah, I need to pick better friends for sure. Why? Yeah, I know it's D2 Indy. You nailed it. Yeah. Well, I don't. Well, say she was. They live in another state. They were visiting Indy on and off this summer. I don't think she's sending the kids to Indy. I mean, if that's the case, then whoever she's sending them to is no Uncle Phil. Yeah, it's that white supremacy D2 Indy. I know it. I just know it. It's got to be those darn Nazis. They're causing all this trouble. But this is by far the funniest thing. It's all sad, but it's kind of typical. And, we've all been desensitized to all the murders and all the shootings and the non-fatal shootings, all the death in Indianapolis. But leave it to the Indianapolis clergy to hold a funeral after the House passes Trump's tax spending cuts in legislation. These dopes, by the way, these were the same clowns that were calling out Micah Beckwith and saying that about the 3/5 thing. These people were like, you know what? Rip to Cheetos, rip to the government paid ramen, rip to government paid Fago, whatever. However will I get my orange drink? However will I get my Black and Milds? However, how will I ever get my bag of Funyuns if not for the government? And they actually spent the time and the money to go and get a casket, to rent a hearse too, as symbolism of saying rip to all of these government aid programs, because apparently 250 bag of Cheetos is just too much out of their budget. God, I absolutely can't stand this bullshit. At some, I keep saying it, but at some point, we just have to be okay with calling this out in public. The group held what they said was a funeral procession followed by a funeral praying over a casket they said represents the people they believe will die because of the new law cuts to Medicaid SNAP benefits. I am on the side. I'm at the point where I'm so fatigued over all this bullshit where I'm just saying eliminate all of it. Eliminate Medicare, eliminate Medicaid, every single welfare program. We are officially going off the rules of the jungle. We're going back to the pure nature, and we're just saying we're not going to help anybody anymore because it's been abused and molested and raped for so long that we can't even fix it anymore. And then when we do try to fix it, we're trying to tell some of these welfare kings and queens that we do not want to be funding any more of their hot fries. They lose their mind. They have their own ABCs, honestly. And all we can do is just watch and discuss and just say, wow, well. Who would have thought? Really, you don't say that you're throwing a tantrum because you can't get your hot fries. Fuck you, okay? I want my roads fixed. Maybe try not getting diabetes from all the cupcakes that you eat. Can you just do us a flavor and do that? Maybe? I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. Todd Young. And by the way, I don't think if we all know that Todd Young is gonna have a primary against Carlin Yoder, but to be honest with you, I don't think Carlin Yoder is gonna be much better than Todd Young. I'm just calling it right now. I'm trying not to be black-pilled or doomer-pilled or talk crap about Carlin Yoder, but I don't trust Jim Banks. If Carlin Yoder, and by the way, Carlin Yoder and Todd Young, they have to have a debate, okay? I don't think there'll be a third person. If there's a third person in there, if there is a third person, it's going to be because the party propped them up so they can take votes away from Yoder so Young can make it to the primary. I'm just saying. I think that's what's going to end up happening. But dude, we got 3 years left. 3 years, really? 2028 is when the election is. We got plenty of time. And Young is going to build a massive war chest. Actually, where's he at right now? Let's see where he's at right now. FEC. All right, he's got $2.5 million right now in a war chest. He's got, how much did he, 22? Yeah, 22. How much money did he raise in 22? Okay, so he had $15 million, or he had $11 million. Is it total? Okay, so he had $11 million when he ran for re-election in 2022. He's got 1.3. Total receipts 1.3. Okay, 1.3. That's my bad. He's got $1.3 million war chest. I can guarantee you right now. How much did he get when he ran for there? 9.6. Okay. He actually spent less for no, it was $11 million. He'll probably have a $20 million war chest when the time comes. And really, the only way that Carlin Yoder is going to win is with the help of Jim Banks. I'm just saying. I don't, just call people out. That's all you have to do. Be independent. Call people out. Be snarky. Have a little bit of an attitude. We don't expect much. I mean, listen, I'm a basic bitch. I just want the roads fixed, and I want to go out to get ice cream at night without having to worry about some brown or some non hit me or lose their mind, just spurg out while I'm going to Culver's or Dairy Queen. Oh, and also, I'm thinking about doing a live stream next Saturday. I'm thinking about walking around downtown. I'll show you. I'm going to show you what I have in mind right now. Let me know what you think, because I know some people are already worried. All right, so let's see. All right, so I'm thinking of just going down to Maryland and then going up to New York Street, Capitol, of course, and I'm probably not going to do in Delaware. Yeah, I'm not going to go past Delaware because Luger Plaza is just filled to the brim with bums and parasites. I actually got a little bit worried when I went to the protest at the Pacers at Bainbridge, because I had to walk through Luger Plaza. I should have just went up and went through Market, but I wanted to get some footage of it. And there were cops over there, so I knew it was okay. The Juliet Carson Transit Center is just filled to the brim with bums, too, just hanging out. It's going to be so funny when City Market opens back up with all, their renovations, because that's where the bums are going to be hanging out again. It's totally cooked. I mean, it's totally over. There's no way that downtown Indy comes back, ever. We have a garbage prosecutor, a blood-sucking, parasite, Nosferatu-looking motherfucker in Ryan Mears. We got a drunk in Joe Hogsett. We got Chris Bailey, who's too much of a cuck and a pussy to call any of these people out. And we have IMPD that's just being overtaken by immigrants that just don't give a shit about trying to fix Indianapolis. It's so true. We got this Somalian woman that obviously doesn't have any American values, and she's just gonna let all her immigrant friends not give them. She's not gonna give any tickets. It's so over. Anyway, speaking of over, let's talk about lube. All right, so if you guys saw, where was it? Where is it? Where is it? I had it up here. P. Diddy was found. Crap. Oh, maybe I can Twitter find it. Hold on. I think you saw that P. Diddy really had the major charge. He didn't get charged with any of the major stuff. And I think there was only 2 of them that he actually got charged for. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Trial, lube or baby oil, maybe. Hold on, oil. Where is it? July 4th. Anyway, the end of it. Oh, here, here you go. Do they have video? Oh yeah, they do. Okay, they do. All right, here they do. Here it is. All right, so if you've been following our coverage of the Diddy trial, then you know that that more oil has been taking a life of its own, and so if it's the only right to have more oil party with my supporters, it had nothing to do with Diddy supporters, I'm sure. All right, so you remember when Michael Jackson was found innocent, and you had that lady putting off doves into the air every time there was the innocent verdict came in? Well, this is the Diddy trial. They decided to throw a baby oil party. Baby oil! culture, am I right? Well. Unbelievable. That's all I'm going to say. I was like, I remember, this looks familiar. For those who've never seen Boondocks, so hard to take. So yeah, it is, right, Jimmy? It's so true. Dude, there's other videos on here too. This wasn't even the one that I found. I found a little bit one where like this black lady had like a blue wig on and she was twerking and her blue wig came off. I think it might have been this dude in the purple hat. When yeah, diversity is our strength, big W, diversity W. And she was getting baby oil poured on her. God, I wish I could find it. Hold on, see if I could find it. Taurus PIG. Yeah. Oh, here it is. That's not the video, but that was the lady who had the blue wig on. Yeah, her boobie was falling out, and they were pouring baby oil on top of each other. Oh, there it is. There it is. I know that's why you're here, huh? Who would have thought on a Saturday night, the day after Independence Day, that we would be watching baby oil parties outside the courthouse? Who would have thought, huh? I'm so glad that you're here enjoying this with me. But if you guys remember back in the day, 2005, you had Boondocks, the Boondocks. And I was on Cartoon Network, very funny show, honestly. But everybody was comparing it to the R. Kelly verdict.
Maybe R. Kelly did urinate on this woman, but America urinated on R. Kelly. Oh.
These people, you saw the tape. The girl testified she was underage. You're not allowed to do that to a little girl. We have a videotape.
Go tell that to your white bitch.
But the girl was... prosecution rests.
Is this. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, all that needs to be said is this.
What the hell is wrong with you women? Dancing. Battle with ignorance today, and ignorance won. I admit that I'm often vexed at the behavior of my own people. Yeah.
So, if you guys did not know, too, the creator of the show is black. Aaron McGruder, the creator of the Boondocks. And this was on C-SPAN a long time ago, but I mean, screw it. It's Saturday night. Everybody's watching now. Let's just watch them.
I really want you guys to understand that time is running out. And a lot of black people say that, but for real. Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone. You're approaching a country that, forget hating black people or not hating black people, they just don't care. You can be talking about affirmative action, they can be like, I don't care. It literally is of no importance to me. I don't care about slavery, I don't care about segregation, I don't care about you, I don't care how many of you all go to jail, I don't care at all, because I'm broke. You can't be the proud, noble fighter when every single time someone sees a person that looks like you on television, they're acting like a damn fool. How would they know? How would they know you're not a damn fool? They're going to talk to you? Yeah, right.
And what is he relating this to? This kind of shit. And really, he was ahead of his time, because if you remember, you know, from the BLM movement, from the Hands Up movement, from all this stuff, that's all we ever heard about was the poor black man, the nature versus nurture. Life is all about choices. Thank you, Jimmy. 100%. And that's the greatest point of it. Everybody has a choice to do something right or wrong. And if you want to talk about someone's social situation, these people aren't going out and struggling to find bread. Bread is supplied to them through every government program there is. It's about the victim mentality. It's about saying, oh, poor me. The white man is keeping me down. Which is so funny now, because everything was working out so well with the BLM movement until the last couple of years. And then it just got completely overtaken in 2020. Yeah, and people forget. Exactly. And this is where, and you know what, Matic? Ducky, you are just leading into my next point, into the next thing, was juveniles right now know there are no consequences for their actions. And we saw that. We've been seeing it since 2020. All those kids 4 years ago were watching the BLM riots and realizing, wow, I could really do whatever I want, anytime I want, because poor me. It's actually everybody else's fault. If I don't have to deal with it, victimhood tries to intimidate. But then when they go on to normal life, and they go into Monument Circle or downtown, and they see other people that they know that they won't have any consequences, they've had no structure, no leadership, basically no father, no role model, and then guess what? They're gonna spurg out. There's lack of emotional intelligence. There's lack of keeping things real. Hey, maybe we don't need to get in a fight, or maybe how about this? Maybe I should not be out at 1 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because we all know by now that nothing good happens. Maybe I should go home and try to better myself. And there's just no structure for it. These are the fatherless activities. These are the moms being hosed and getting lube poured on them. But this is what everybody's calling the black fatigue. We're just tired of it. We just want to live our life. We want to be able to have the freedom and the liberty to go out to downtown, have a nice meal, spend a lot of money in that area, and say, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about some homeless dude trying to rob me or rape me. I don't have to worry about some juveniles starting some war in the middle of Monument Circle or whatever. And this is what everybody's saying. The white flight, or hey, maybe I don't want to live in Indy anymore. Maybe the people that I pay to represent me or allegedly protect me aren't doing their job, and I'm not going to deal with it anymore. So they move to Joco, they move to Henco, all the above. But the problem is, all these liberals that go out to the outside counties, they're just looking at like a nice piece of flesh. And because the liberal cancer knows nothing but to spread, they say, boy, you know what? This looks like a great thing to fuck up, and I'm just going to destroy it, because liberals, at the end of the day, are a cancer. Yeah, how's the SEL working out? hey, what's that chick's name? Who's our education lady? Jenner. Hey, Jenner. Hey, someone ask Jenner how the SEL is working out right now. It's working out so well. Why don't you go down to downtown right now? And actually in a couple of hours. Someone had pointed out too. Dude, Ducky, same thing. Honestly, same thing. Before, under 18, I thought that's what was the rule everywhere. That's how I remember it. Of course, I didn't, we didn't have a downtown. We just kind of hung out in the McDonald's parking lot. I was working all the time too. I was trying to get a car. I was trying to better myself. I was planning for my future. Being around all that bullshit wasn't really something that I was interested in doing. Plus, then I'd have to trust people to get me there and back. No. There's only one person that I trust, That's me. So when we see all these people leaving Indianapolis, I keep saying is like, that's why, you know, Abdul and Hogsett can be like, well, you know, judging by the math, we're actually not that bad. Oh, judging by the math, things are doing pretty good. Really? Because people aren't feeling that way. Have you been downtown, by the way? And I'm not talking about places like the garage. When you're at somewhere in the garage, you're in a confined area. It's like the mall. You're around a bunch of like-minded people, too. You think those beatniks, those juveniles have any money to spend over at the garage? No. They're looking at that nice fountain, and they're saying, hey, you know what? Let's just hang out. Let's just, like, not do anything productive at all with our life. And we're just going to be seeing it more, unfortunately. And, you know, I've said it many times. You need to get the boo box. You need to get scared straight. You're going to have to throw some of these juveniles that you just can't straighten out into the booty house, get their shit pushed in. Maybe do a little Clockwork Orange. A lobotomy isn't so bad either. There's just some people that you can't save. But if you have like a public hanging, this is why I am a huge support of public execution. We used to execute people for stealing cows and horses, all right? And now we let people just get away with stealing $900,000 or $900 worth of crap. It's unbelievable to me how we've gotten so bad. And the worst part is, things are not going to get better in Indianapolis. Maybe, I mean, if VOP wins, maybe things will stay the same. It won't be like worse. If Ryan Mears becomes mayor, it is totally worse. Things will get so much worse because Ryan Mears lives nowhere not downtown. He lives in some house over on I don't know, it's a house of like $500,000. He doesn't care about any of us. You know, he sends his children to private school. I don't know about that for sure, but I imagine he does. Even look at this right here. Fight breaks out at a cemetery over who gets the flag. And the lady.
No. This, no.
And look at that. They're getting a military person's dead. Maybe their kid, maybe their brother. I don't know. And then they're freaking out. They're spurging out on who gets the flag. Like, let that happen first and then deal with it afterwards. You remember that shooting that happened like a week or two ago over at Thatcher Park, like right down the street from me? Oh, guess what? There's a little cookout going on. Obviously, tensions rose for whatever reason. Can't handle it like men, like gentlemen. And what do? They bring out their piece, flip it sideways, and then start shooting each other. For what reason, though? Right, Jimmy? This is called the fatigue. All right, so I want to talk about this podcast too. It's called the Black Briefing. I know. I'm sure someone's clipping this right now, or everybody's friends is like, "Can you believe Whitty just keeps talking about black people?" Oh my God, it's so crazy. Well, let me tell you what. You guys make it easy, okay? But this is part of the reason why the juveniles are acting this way, because there's zero, maybe like 0.1 accountability, but for the most part, it's not there. Now, what this part is keep the main thing the main thing. And this was the podcast where Allie Brown went on, not this particular one, but these group of people. And this city needs to clean house. Corruption and bullshit abound. Who's this fat bitch? And then this black chick too, NM Hayes, another fat one. Anyway, what have I always said? You can't trust the fat people. I'm talking about young people, all right? When I talk about fat people, I'm talking about people in their 20s and their 30s. I talk about older people. But anyway, on here they have Wild Style, Keith Pascal, I forgot what this chick is, and then Gregory Merriweather. These are all three black supremacists. We're at the point where black people can't do anything wrong. Hey, it's actually not the black people, it's the circumstance they're in. Hey, you know what? Why is there a food desert? Man, it's because we're black. And they're going to talk about this actually, all right? Because I wanted to see if they're going to talk about what we had revealed on Indy Reporter about the VOP, which let me bring that up real quick. We had talked about on Indy Reporter on about the VOP, about he's basically like the gatekeeper for all this money. Here it is. Why nobody's talking about it. So VOP Osley, who is the president of the city council, he has his own PAC, his own political action committee called Voice of the People. And on there, he's getting money from certain people, and then he's putting it out to other people. So look at this. This is from his campaign account. Hold on, and then this is from his PAC. From his PAC, he gave Hogsett $30,000. Brown Progressive, which is the consulting company from Allie Brown's husband, that they got $10,000. Dan Boots $1,000, Jared Evans $3,200, Keith Graves $1,000, and Breanne Delaney, who is the wife of Tim Moriarty, right there, $7,500. You can't say VOP is a sexist anymore. But Tim Moriarty was the guy that when stores get looted, stores leave. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which we're going to talk about that here in a second. That's exactly why and what's going on here. And, you know, this leads up into, and also of why the Muslim terrorist or the Muslim socialist is probably going to be the next mayor of New York. But Tim Moriarty was Hogsett's guy to run in the primary to beat Ryan Mears. And I'm sure he has a vendetta still, which is why he's giving Breanne Delaney so much money, $7,500, by the way, to beat Matt Hills, which Matt Hills was just a shit candidate anyway. But that was from the PAC, and this is from his campaign account. He gave Hogsett $30,000 from his campaign account. Carlino $750, Andy Nielsen $1,000, Jesse Brown $1,000, Dan Boots $1,000, Keith Graves $500, Maggie Lewis $2,500, Kristen Jones a bunch of money, Jared Evans $500, and Jessica McCormick $500. This was all the year. The reason why I'm pointing these out, there's ones before that. There's even one or two after that, but this was during the election for the mayor's race and the city council race. But this is what I was hoping that they were going to talk about. Turns out that's not what they were talking about. But let's give it a listen.
And Bob, Samuel, they need to go.
Enron.
Samuel Enron Osley needs to go. SEO, gotta go. Okay, so VOP in the money machine. VOP in the money machine. So
I want to hear money machine sound.
For those of you who haven't seen it, we saw it for the first time because a picture started floating around of
people
black
vigorously
pastor.
patting themselves on the back for doing so much for the community.
It was an ATM. It was an ATM.
That will go.
This is very important. Very, very important that you pay attention to this part. Because I couldn't even get through the whole segment. I was like, all right, we're just going to talk about this on Saturday, and you're going to watch me freak out in real time. Not freak out, but definitely get upset.
On between Emerson and Arlington on East 38th Street.
On East 38th Street.
In a parking lot.
For those of you who don't know,
happy days are here.
We are we're in a bank desert. Okay.
Like almost all black communities in Indianapolis.
We need a bank. FYI, we need a bank. But
now, why do you think there isn't a bank in a population of a high density black area? Anybody in the comment section want to give me a help out? Jesse in Ireland going at it. Oh, really? Really? Hold on. Oh, really? Hold on. I got to check this out. Him and Ireland are going at it? Oh, let's go. Yep, there we go. Mog 'em. You are retarded. You couldn't care less that a black youth are killing. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, don't forget that Jesse Brown called the cops on a black kid, okay? Indy is running very unserious people instead of arresting the violent criminals, socialists. Oh, hold on. I got one. Hold on. Hold on. It's somewhere around here. I got one ready. This was from a long time ago. I got a really good post ready for it. Hold on. This is going to take me a second. This was from a while ago, and you guys know how much we post. I know it's around here. That is pretty good, though. Jesse's just so fucking dumb, though, and he's a pussy, too. Ah. All right, hold on. I know where it's at. Hold on. Let's just play this. Hold on. We're going to get back to that. Okay, but let's make sure you pay attention to this part, too.
But they wanted to give us an ATM. And many of us, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I first saw, because we get the Far East Side Community Council, anything that's in our catchment, we get the notices. So if there needs to be a zone or ordinance or anything like that or whatever, we get those kind of things in the mail. I had saw some things about an ATM, and when it's things like that, which they're like kind of on the edge of our catchment, I default to what that community wants. And, you had their counselor supporting it. You had one of their most prominent pastors out there supporting it. You had like all these people out there supporting it. And so I didn't support it, but I just left it alone and waiting to hear like what other people say. Now, to me, not attaching it to a business has safety concerns immediately for me, because you're withdrawing money and there's nothing around.
Yeah, Greg should speak on that later.
Yeah, Greg will speak on that. But yeah, that was some of the concerns. And lo and behold, just a little present dropped right into our email yesterday. Yesterday, a little present. And let me tell you, if I was never grateful for this particular agency before, I am wholeheartedly, completely, and totally grateful for the FHCCI now, okay? For the Fair Housing Center of Central Indiana, okay? So they emailed a lot of us leaders yesterday and let us know about concerns that they have with this ATM, but more specifically with the bank that this ATM is attached to.
Damn, I thought I had it.
I'm opening it up for you.
Listen, let me say, so it is the National Bank of Indianapolis. It's one of the few national banks that's based in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, according to the statistics, it's one of the few banks in Indianapolis that don't loan to black people.
Period.
What was the rate percentage?
Okay, so their peer
Their
banks,
peers. Mm-hmm.
22.6% of the loan applications were to black people. And we make up technically 27.5%. So it's a little bit lower than the population.
We're close.
But it's close.
Mm-hmm.
National Bank of Indianapolis, they loaned to 4.5%.
4.5%.
And the year before, I think it was 3.4. And the year before that, like the only good year they had was 2021.
Did anybody ever think that maybe the banks just aren't loaning to people that have really bad credit, or like, hey, guess what? When I loan money to somebody, I'm going to loan it to somebody that is going to be able to pay me back. And it just happens to be that black people are the worst about paying shit back. I'm just going to throw this out there. You know what? Just throwing this out there. I can't find it. I had this really good one where it was Jesse getting a Stone Cold Stunner from Ireland. God, I can't find it though. I'm struggle busing right now.
And I know I know
George Floyd.
No, it was, and I know that for a fact because I know some things.
I can give y'all.
I know some things, but
I'll give y'all a little more.
Somebody died, and keep in mind these are applications, not them actually getting the loans.
This was just applications.
So it's really, this is really a like a thermostat on this is really, I said a thermostat, but it's really checking the temperature on their intentionality and engagement.
And they do not have a bank in a black neighborhood in Indianapolis.
No,
No,
and all they
Most
wanted
of their
to
banks
put,
are nice, real prominent areas.
and all they wanted to put.
Wow. So in areas that they can expect where A, things are not going to get robbed, 2, there's not going to be any trouble, and 3, where people are going to be paying back their loan. Who would have guessed, huh?
It was money machine, but you would ask like, wow, none of these people did their homework on the National Bank of Indianapolis. Like, why didn't anybody know this about who vouched for this bank so hard that we did not ask enough questions?
Maybe they fell into the 4%.
But because the city had concerns. The city had concerns about the location of this bank machine basically being out. It's not, even though it is a partnership with a church, that church is not, it's not directly at the church. It's like a couple blocks away.
Exactly.
Like in this
Easier
abandoned parking lot.
It takes away the excuse if you're not giving your money on Sunday.
Just go drive over there. You can even walk over there.
It's probably
it's
probably a thing in there to show you where to go.
Ooh.
You left your tithes? Go down there.
Oh.
Lord Jesus. Maybe that's why they didn't want to put it in the church. So it didn't
they hear Greg's mouth. They hear Greg's mouth.
But no, why didn't they ask questions? Who vouched for this bank, this great bank?
So in the hearing, apparently the city came out and expressed concerns, like it's awfully close to a Purple Line station to be having like a drive-through ATM, and then it's in this abandoned parking lot. And so
is it like the one at Flanner that was at Flanner House?
Yeah.
So they tell you there's a live person.
This one didn't live, but the one at Flanner House was live.
And so the teller gets to see you, and the person's behind you with a gun. It was like, hey, by the way, we're gonna deny your loan, but you're getting robbed too.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I mean, they just said it. To be honest with you, they admitted to it.
Call 911. Like, what is this, man?
There may be safety concerns with the location.
There's safety concerns.
There's a man behind you with a mask on. I know you're trying to get some money out, but it looks like you're gonna be withdrawing more than you chose.
I'm scared when I go to the ATM that's attached to the bank. Yeah. I'm looking over my shoulder the whole time.
But they're gonna put you in an empty parking lot where somebody can just, if next to the bus line, that somebody can just run over, rob you, and catch the bus.
We are not saying that people
Today was a
most of those
the
robbers
bus was on time and somebody was at the ATM. Thank you, Lord.
Oh my God! Just perfect alignment, perfect timing.
I mean,
it was divine.
It was divine. It was like the same God that spoke to the mayor and the chief is the same God that told me when to be on the purple line. You were involved in it.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
You was in my prayer.
The purple line being the getaway car is crazy.
Oh my God! Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's terrible.
But it is possible.
Forgive me, Lord.
The city employees expressed concern, and they wanted the ATM moved, closer to the church or attached to the church, which would make sense. And there was one counselor that came in.
Church don't want that liability.
Yeah, the
rob somebody in the church parking lot. That's automatic hell.
Because you can't have everybody robbing people at the church.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh my God. There's a disclaimer at the top of this episode.
There could be multiple robbers, is all I was saying.
No, they're agreeing to
I don't know which.
So they're kind of agreeing to it. It's like, yeah, it's going to be a problem. And, it always goes back to like, well, they should do more. Well, what more can you do if the community is not doing crap? When you're basically saying, all right, well, it's not that big of a deal. Just put it here. Got it? Okay, I finally got it. All right, hold on. All right. Hold on. I think I got it. Yep, there we go. All right, so I got 2 of them right here. I got 2 of them. I need your guys' votes right here. Are you guys ready to vote right now? We got 2 different memes that we're gonna set up right now. All right, so one, this is gonna be the reply that I put on for Ireland. All right, it's either this one. Hold on, I can't do that. Okay, so it's either this one. All right, that's number 1. This is number 2. Or we do number 3. What do you think? Ah, crap. All right, so 1, 2, or 3. What do you guys think in the chat? I'm thinking 1, but I'm also okay with 2. This will be geared towards Jesse, of course, but I'm thinking this one. What do you think? I need actual decisions on which one I should do. 1, 2, or 3. That's what I need to know. All right, I gotta go. I gotta see what's going on with Ireland now. Dude, you literally called the cops. Hold on, I got 1. All right, 2 is cool. 3 is a classic. All right, yeah, but D2 Indy, I know. Okay, so, but which one? Do you prefer 1 or 2? Would you prefer 1 or 2? I mean, I'll probably go. I might just go put this one on my account, but this one will be through the Indy Reporter account. And then we'll block him. Then we'll block Jesse for a little bit, but make him cool off, because we know he's gonna freak the fuck out. 1. All right. D2 Indy says 2. Well, I got 2, 2. All right, I'm gonna go with 1. We're gonna go with this one. Give me a second. Bam. Bam, biggity, bam. Okay, okay, bam. Bam, boom. Blango. There we go. All right, we're in. This one I might. All right. All right, hold on. I got to reply too. I got to reply. That's their electric. Not good enough. Let's see. I want to make sure that I put it on there. Literally called the cops on a black kid. Jesse literally called the cops on a black kid. Oh, wait a minute. Do I still have that meme? Oh, wait a minute. Do you guys remember when I had that banger where it was Top Cop Brown arresting a little black kid? Oh, shit. That was such a good one, too. Man, I came up with some really good ones. Holy shit, this is so good. Oh, man. Holy shit. I can't believe I have them saved. That's wild. All right. I can't find it. That's fine, though. All right. Good enough. There we go. All right. Back to what I was doing. Have a big BLM paint thinner blobby. Holy shit. Really? That's crazy. Amber Nicole. That's so crazy. I might have to screenshot this real quick. Because that racist one is pretty good. They're never handy when you want them. Well, remember they had the BLM mural too on like the IU catwalk, and then Ron just took away all that crap. God, Archive didn't see the link with it. Hold on. thing. Oh, crap. That's on there. It works. I don't know what to tell you, bud, but it works for me. All right. There we go. All right, continue.
There could be multiple robbers going to that church. But anyway.
I think one of the things that, when I look at this and on a serious note, is that we have been conditioned to not understand the banking.
I've teed y'all up for the conflict this whole time.
Okay, let's
go.
So the one counselor that spoke in and overrode the city employees that had valid concerns about this.
Oh, what church is that? That's crazy, Jimmy.
Is none other than City Council President Vop Osley, whose wife is on the board of the National Bank of Indianapolis.
Y'all, you can't make this
ATM
up.
adding to the mess.
Okay, so they're mad that they don't have a bank, so they get an ATM and they still bitch about it. And they're just like, well, we don't have as many. I like how Merriweather's like, you guys, we just don't understand banking. And it's like, all right, you guys don't understand profit, and that all these businesses have to make money for them to be around. If they are losing money or there is a threat to people that work there, they're just going to pack up and leave. Why would they go invest in an area and then you guys treat it like shit? That's wild. Oh, yeah. I know where that's at. 98th and Meridian. I didn't know they had a George Floyd picture, though. Isn't that like one of the diversity? I think that's where. Oh, let me look that up real quick. They had like that the Evolve there, and they had a bunch of pride flags. If I'm thinking of the right one.
That's the one. Adding to the mess.
Adding to the mess.
Lord help us.
That's a fact, y'all.
This is ugly.
Samuel Enron Osley.
Enron strikes again.
Enron strikes
So the
again.
Fair Housing of Indianapolis watched the video of the hearing, and they were shocked to see that Vop did not disclose that information in the hearing, that his wife is a board member when he went in there and override the city employees making valid concerns about this ATM.
Let's go exploit the black community when they actually need a bank.
Yeah, they need a bank.
Let's exploit them with the ATM with all these fees and charges and whatnot. And then
the potential to add to crime.
Yeah. So they're admitting that the ATM will add crime, but then they were bitching about banks. All right. And this is what I mean. You can't win with this kind of mindset at all. So yeah, it is the same spot. It is the same spot. All right. So I had actually, who did I hang? I think I hung, I think I was helping John actually put crap. I put lawn signs in here. I can't remember for who I did it for though. But yeah, I do remember this one. Hey, do you remember when Aaron Freeman was mogging Jesse Brown? Aaron Freeman. So Jesse Brown had someone go against Aaron Freeman last year during the Senate election. And so Freeman shows up, and then Jesse Brown gets pressed, and he's just like, huh? And Freeman just mogging him against the wall right now. Just alpha hemming right there in front of everybody. It's so good. I made sure I saved that picture. All right, let's continue with this, though.
And this is exactly what we're talking about. These fools.
I do enjoy them thinking that it's a conspiracy against black people because his wife is on the board. Any bank could have went there, but they're choosing not to. Yeah, that's exactly right, Ducky. Exactly. I mean, I don't know if it's like against a wall, because what they're saying is like, well, if we have an ATM, then somebody might come behind us and then rob us. All right. How is that any different than a bank then? If you need money, then you're going to need to get money. Like the same thing with the grocery store, same thing with everything else, or hospitals or whatever.
Those cannot stay.
And let me tell you more about because I know it's going to come up, and there's going to be people upset that we spoke about this and everything, and the great
I don't care.
Renaissance program that they have going on. Let me tell you, I've been to the website, I've looked at all the information, including the 200,000.
By the way, Keith lives with his mom. I think he has to borrow her car whenever he has to, because he's a big public transportation advocate. But I think it's because the only mode of transportation he has is his mom's car. If I'm hearing this right, anyway, that he has his mom's car or he has to take the bus.
$1,000 of down payment assistance, and this is the bare minimum that banks are pretty much required to do under the Civil Rights Act of 1968, which is you call it CRA, Community Reinvestment Act, which is part of that.
Come on.
There is nothing going on, to my knowledge, unless y'all, because it hadn't hit the news, there's nothing in this program that is not a part of what a bank is expected to go do. I don't even know where all the money came from the down payment assistance, but I doubt the bank came up with it all by itself.
Help us.
So I'm not saying not to deal with the bank, but don't give the community a raw deal, and don't pat yourself on the back acting like you're doing more for the community than you're actually doing. And you really should.
Now we know why. Now we know why VOP actually showed up.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta disclose conflicts of interest when your wife is on the board of a bank and people are raising
And it just
valid
so
concerns.
happens to be a terrible ad bank that doesn't do right by Black people, but you want to put their ATM in our communities that are desperate in need. You need a grocery store, and we're putting a convenience store there instead. And not just are we putting a convenience store there instead, it's full of everything
vending
that could
machine.
kill. Yes,
That's what it is.
That's a vending machine.
That's an equivalent of a vending machine.
A vending machine, but not just any vending machine. Not just any vending machine. A vending machine that your family happens to own and benefits directly from. And bonus, it has all terrible things that ain't gonna do nothing but ruin your body, your teeth, your health, everything. It's just like, y'all, what?
Okay, well, no one's forcing you to eat any of that food. Also, I would love to see how often people are stealing from that convenience store, because all of a sudden you want a grocery store, but you can't even handle a convenience store from it being robbed. Can we just stop pretending that this isn't a bigger issue than what they're saying? And the other problem is too, none of these people, not Merriweather, not the fat black chick, not Keith, they never want to admit of what the real problem is. It's like, oh, we're not getting this or we're not getting that. Well, maybe it's because when you do get this or that, you treat it like shit and you steal from it. And all of a sudden the businesses are like, you know what? I do not want any of that. I don't want to deal with it. I will go into an area where I can make money and I can use that money to put food on my table, because obviously you have no problem stealing shit from me. He gives the entire bus to himself. It's so funny, Doug.
Well, we have got to demand better. This is unacceptable.
And
this is unacceptable.
And the counselors in the area need to expect better. And you need to understand what the Community Reinvestment Act, which is the Civil Rights Act of 1968, it bans redlining, but it specifies that the banks need to put time and energy into all these financial literacy classes that y'all like, ooh, the bank's really going to work with the community. They're expected.
Oh, God, what's 2 + 2? Financial literacy. If I have $5 and something costs me $8, that means I don't have enough money to buy it. Boom, there you go. Mind blown. Oh, my God. You mean I shouldn't buy things I can't afford? Oh, whoa. It's so crazy, man. Oh, shit. You're like Einstein, man.
To do that.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
For the media that is reporting on it, they're expected to do that. Please.
Keith has dead eyes. You can see the hamster has fallen off its wheel, but the wheel is still spinning.
Please come to.
He looks like he smells like onions too.
Talk to us when the bank is doing something above and beyond, especially when it's addressing the harm that they have caused the Black community.
I'm
like, what?
Oh, not having the bank there has caused harm against the Black. All right, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I'm sorry. This is just More hate mongering, that's all, and playing the victim. Us black people. All right. Speaking of, hey, you know what? Let's talk about Jesse's people, since we're already on the subject anyway. We got the rape rags that these people are wearing, aka the terrorist rags, kind of like their villain costume.
Facilitation. That was.
Good, you're done too. Next, 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30
Come on
seconds
up.
is disgusting.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Come on up. Enjoy your terrorist rag. Come on, let's go. You're next. Come on. What's your name? I'm the chairman. I can say what I want. If you don't like it, you can leave. Come on. You're next.
I don't even care, based.
I'll clear the room, and then we can move on if I hear one more outburst. I don't have to have any of you sit here.
Kind of a dick move, but also based. Oh, this is the one that I found.
I did battle with ignorance today, and ignorance won. I admit that I'm often vexed at the behavior of my own people. Yeah, vexed is a good word.
All right, next one. You want to talk about Jeets? I was going to talk about Muslims here for a second, but then I decided I'm probably not a good idea. But for those over in like Perry Township area, I've talked about this for 8 months, give or take, 8 or 10 months, I think. So Madison is going to be doing a road diet, and they're going to be taking, I think they're taking away 2 lanes. It's going to go to a 6 to a 4 lane road. And it'll be interesting because this is part of their, hey, let's try and curb the speeding. Let's try and curb the reckless driving. And my answer to that is just enforce the fucking law. That's all you got to do. We'll see how well commerce works after that. This one was kind of interesting. I want to talk about a few things first, and for them, we're going to get into something that is a bit alarming that I found on the IADC website. I have not heard anything about this, by the way. I haven't heard anything about my... Never have. So, and I just did a quick search. I haven't found nothing. Not to say that it's not, because we saw what happened with Bohatchek. So, homeless man insists he was kicked out of a Portland shelter, a Portland shelter.
So,
for not being transgender. This is the identical shelter I just reported on that kicked out 2 other people for reporting a transgender person for theft. Something is definitely going on.
You were living at this shelter right across the street.
Yes.
And you believe you were kicked out because you are not.
Because I'm not transgender or gay or either black either, because most of the staff there are black. And I don't hate anybody. I'm not racist or anything like that. But it's like if I'm not flaunting my sexuality. I was in the hospital at this certain time and date. And it's like, why are you kicking me out? And they're like, well, you weren't here. Well, I was in the hospital. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Well, they're just saying there, it's like, it's really pushed in your face, and you really, it's like a big part of the shelter.
Yeah.
But why does it have to be such a big part of the shelter? People there are just trying to survive.
Exactly. I mean, I'm surviving, trying to survive just as the next person, even if they're transgender or not. But the transgenders there get even more special treatment. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And if I was a transgender, somehow I get kicked out. But if I'm transgender, I guarantee I'd still be in there.
That is so not okay, brother.
No.
So what's your plan now?
Just get through the next 30 days, and then I'm moving to Spokane.
Oh, is that how long that you were kicked out, or were you kicked out permanently?
No, I was just kicked out for 30 days.
That's a long time.
30 days. And so, I mean, they did one nice thing for me. I walked up to the door, ring the doorbell, and asked her if they had any extra food late at night. They had 2 extra plates. And my partner, her name's Alex, and so they brought me out a plate and her a plate. And that's like the nice thing they did.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing, brother. My name's...
Interesting. Well, you know, those shelters over there are crazy. They were kind of allow anything. Pretty sure they were allowing open drug use too. They're all goofy. None of them work. we got that. Got that. You want to talk about the Pajeets?
Stop. I saw what you did back there, Pajeet.
I had to make the poo-poo.
The world isn't your litter box. Go clean it up. Pajeets are filthy, amoral bioweapons that breed out of control and have no regard for their natural habitat.
Now we know that Pajeets are a plague on humanity.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe! All right. I want to show you guys something, too. What I've discovered on the IDC website. It's a little bit alarming, for me anyway. So, I found this by accident while looking for something else, of course. There are let me show you something real quick. I got to do something about all this freaking dog hair. If you go into the IDC transparency portal, you click onto the bottom left, you'll see fund type. These are all the different funds that the IADC, where the money comes from. You see ARPA, the EDGE funds, you see whatever funds, Ready funds. There are 39 different funds. I haven't gone through all of them. The W21 fund. There are over 5,000 transactions, by the way. And I don't even know what all these funds do either. Some of them might not have been like maybe wiped out. They don't do anything anymore. They've transformed into something different because we know how much they love their acronyms. New brand. This is like new Coke. But I've been trying to figure out what this IPF fund, and this is basically what I've gotten to. It stands for Innovation and Product Fund, a grant category used by the IADC to provide financial support to eligible organizations in Indiana. IndianaCapital.com, 9 secure. IPF grants are typically awarded via contracts outlining a specific purpose. For example, $64,000 grant issued on March 21st, 2025 for certain innovation-related activities in Plainfield, blah, 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 blah. All right, the reason I say this is because if you go into the IPF fund, let's just go into the IPF fund. You'll see there are 46 different results for this thing. Now, some of the other results will go to different cities of Indiana. Why am I bringing this up? Because I want to look at these contracts real quick. You're going to see on all of those are going to bring up a thing called Make My... Where the bottom scroll bar? I don't know. Right here to say Make My Move will work with the city of Noblesville and the IADC to develop and execute a remote worker recruiting strategy and will conduct a program to generate a pool of qualified applicants and recruit those individuals to live in Noblesville, Indiana. This is from the contract, the EDS, it was from 2023 to 2024. The money they'll get will be in 2023. This is what I don't get. People are moving to Noblesville. You don't need to pay people to move to Noblesville. They're already moving there. So then I looked up Make My Move. And on their website, they'll show all the different cities of how much the city is willing to give you, plus something else. Like, you'll get a $5,000 cash and a $100 gift card to the South Bend International Airport. Okay, if you move to Culver. You move to Elkhart, you'll get a $5,000 cash and coffee and 2 tickets to the South Shore Line. Okay. Like all this crazy stuff that I don't quite understand. So reading more of these contracts, stick with me here. All right. It's all going to make sense here in a minute. All these contracts add up to $3.6 million. Now, these are matching grants. So it's not just the $3.6 million, it's double that. So like $7 million, over $7 million. And your taxpayer money to get people to move somewhere out of state into that area. Now, what I don't understand is why you need to do that. So I looked into the contracts a little bit more. Remember how I talked about contracts and looking at Exhibit A? Exhibit A is always going to be important. So Noblesville has an ROI estimate, a return on investment estimate. This is what they're saying. If we spend X amount of money to bring in this amount of people, in theory, in our little formula, we will receive this amount of money from incremental property tax, assuming that they're buying a home, incremental income tax, incremental direct consumer output. That means buying stuff. And they're saying by year 1, if we have bring on all these people, we will have generated $2.1 million. By year 5, we'll have $10.6 million. Okay, so yeah, if you bring in more people, they will spend more money in that particular area. We know that, but why? But now you have to find some way to house these people, which means what? That means you'll probably have to use tax money or TIFs or some kind of other funding mechanism, probably by the taxpayers, to bring in to house these people, which we already know in Hamilton County is a problem. Here's where my spidey sense was really going off. When the people at Floyd County had the same thing and they had an ROI. Here's what set it off. The brick and mortar jobs created 45. So are you telling me that you're trying to bring in cheap labor? Why are you talking about brick and mortar jobs? So I read the contract a little bit more, and it said, where's employment eligibility verification? The grantee has enrolled in and is participating in the E-Verify program. Wait a minute. The E-Verify program has to do with immigrants. If you are an American citizen, the red, white, and blue-blooded American citizen, you're not going to be needing the E-Verify program. And it wasn't just this one. I didn't go through all of them, but Noblesville had the same thing. They went a little bit deeper on it. The grantee is enrolled in and participating in the E-Verify program. The grantee has provided documentation to the IEDC that is enrolled and is participating in the E-Verify program. The grantee does not knowingly employ an unauthorized alien. So they're bringing in people out of the state, possibly even out of the country, because that's the whole point of the E-Verify program. You don't need to be on E-Verify if you're an American citizen. So you have all these illegals that are part of the E-Verify program, which is what? Bringing in cheap labor, which we saw from the Floyd County thing that, hey, we're going to generate 45 different brick and mortar jobs here, boys. As long as the taxpayers are funding their way of getting over here. Well, you go a little bit deeper into this READY program. In this paragraph, there's an actual website about it. Indiana's committed investing in the growth and prosperity of the individuals and families that call the Hoosier State home. READY builds on the framework and successes on the additional an Indiana Regional Cities Initiative and 21st Century Talent Initiative, encouraging in neighboring communities across the state to work collaboratively to develop a bold vision for the future that, when implemented, will attract, develop, and retain talent in Indiana. What the freak is this? Future project, skate park. Hey guys, guess what? Accelerate rural Indiana. People are clearly going to move over here because of the skate park. However many millions of dollars it costs to do this skate park. Oh, Versailles Pocket Park. Oh, look at this green space with the fake grass and everything, but it's got a bench. Same thing with the community center. Same thing with River District Elkhart, whatever that is. Which has committed $11.8 million of funds for the project, and the inclusion park. Hey, in the county inclusion park will include a playground equipment. Don't you want to move here? Don't you want to come over? Here's what cracks me up, though. We have so many politicians that are involved with construction. The top two that automatically came to my mind because I had done research on them is Scott Baldwin and Elena Schockweiler. Now, Scott Baldwin is the CEO of Envoy Construction and Development, and Elena Schockweiler is Business Development Associate, who's with Garmong Construction. Kind of weird how she just got this job probably around the time that she won her election. Huh, that's so weird, right? A politician working for a construction company that is using some of these funds to get people over there, but you will also need to have funds to build housing to bring these people in there. But according to people from Noblesville, the ROI is amazing. Why am I now? You can call this conspiracy theory. I don't know. I would consider it a conspiracy fact, but 100% it has to make you go, that's interesting, right? It does make the peanuts going. Yeah, and Brett Clark. Yeah, Brett Clark is on there too. I mean, you could probably go through everybody and ask yourself, is this person involved with construction? Now, this one is from the Southern Indiana Regional Development Authority. $45 million. This Ready grant will be provided to promote strategic investments that will make Indiana a magnet for talent and economic growth. The Northwest Indiana region is built around 5 aspirational goals that were as the pillars of future economic vitality and growth of the region. They reflect a holistic view of economic development that addresses business development and marketing, entrepreneurship and innovation, infrastructure and talent, and placemaking. These goals will drive the region's strategies and actions for implementation of these Ready funds. So like I said before, the Ready funds that are coming from the IADC, which are from your taxpayers, are trying to encourage people. By the way, this is a newer contract. They're getting $45 million right now. Now, this is what's very interesting. They have like the Ready one evaluation. I think they have it on here too. I think they already did some of it, and now they're reporting back maybe. They're talking about the different population in Indiana compared to that region. They're talking about things that, hey, what did you learn from all of this? How are we trying to get people to come over here? And this is what I mean when I talk about GDP bros. The people running the state, especially the IADC, look at Indiana as an economic zone. They don't ever look at Hoosiers and say, hey, you know what? We're conservative. We don't want to destroy the farmland for these bullshit solar panels. They're looking at us as a number on the wheel. They're looking at us as just cows in the ring. They're saying, hey, this looks like a nice plot of land. Let's put a Starbucks there. Let's put a Jimmy John's. Let's put a Huawei or whatever. Well, how can we create more people to come here that have zero relation to Hoosier values, to Hoosier conservatism? How can we bring in people that will just generate more money for us? Because that's all we care about. Because according to these GDP pros like Mike Braun, like Michael Paul Hart, all the people on the IADC board, we are just a number to them. And they want to know how much money they can make off of us so they can just continuously rape us and make it harder for us to survive. Now, the biggest question is, what are we going to do about it? Well, to be honest with you, that's part of my job. That's part of our job at Indy Reporter. Our job is to post all the stuff up to make it digestible, where you guys understand that this is a problem, that our taxpayer dollars are going to these different organizations that we don't even know if they're working or not. Why not just, I don't know, fix the roads, keep people safe, make sure that the monsters to stay behind bars, and everything else will kind of come through, will go well after that. Now, this is what you're going to start seeing a little bit more. Based on data points above, describe how the region's metrics have shifted. Actually, it's not that one. It was, hold on. I don't know if they're going to allow me to, yeah. No. All right, that's fine. They're on here. They talk about the current challenges. I think it's on here. Dealing over the lift. On here, which they bring this up on both of them, possibly even 3 of them. They talk about childcare. And why do they talk about childcare? Because they want more of your money. They know if two people are the mom and the dad are outside of the household making money, that's more money for the government to make. So to them, they're saying if we can get childcare, if someone can watch your child, then you will be able to generate more money for the state. Because obviously back in the day, people could survive on a 1-income household. It was much easier. And then obviously feminism came around, but we won't even talk about that. But it was the idea that instead of making it an option, now it is an obligation. You now have to work. The mom and the dad now have to work because of how expensive things have gotten. Not just how much your property tax has gone up, but food, like electricity. And they're saying, well, you know what? If childcare was taken care of, we could have everybody out in the workforce. And what does that do for the kid? Now, social norms, being away from your parents, I think it fucks with their head personally. I think it treats them that you're disposable. That the child will think that, oh, mommy and daddy don't like me and they're just going to put me somewhere else for X amount of hours because they don't love me. I don't know. That's just my theory, to be honest with you. I don't really think daycares are that great, especially when you see some of these people beating the shit out of children or killing them. Actually, let's see. Baby dies in... let's just look it up. Baby dies in daycare. Arrest made. A death of 4-year-old in daycare van. Child died on Friday in a daycare van in Brownsville. Police said, shocked by proposed sleep rules after baby death at daycare. 1-year-old dead. 3 others hospitalized over fentanyl. Here we go. This was 2023. Possibly consuming fentanyl at a Bronx daycare. Let's see. This is from just last May. Tyler dies from cardiac arrest while in daycare. Might be in. 2 suspects charged in murder of 1-year-old following alleged... Oh, this is still fentanyl. Crap. South Texas daycare workers charged after child dies in hot van. So a daycare worker left a baby inside of a hot van. And guess what? Karen Silva and Cindy Ruiz. Oh, boy. So now you're going to have all these third worlders looking after your children, busy having their margaritas while your child is suffocating inside of a hot van. Left a 3-month-old son in a hot car outside his home on Saturday. Let's see. Police responded to the Learning Club preschool at 4:55, according there, where they found an unresponsive 4-year-old hot child inside a daycare van. The child was declared dead once EMS arrived on the scene. But then they were released on bond, $10,000 bond. Let's see. Meanwhile, Hidalgo County Sheriff's Deputy responded to there after receiving a report of a 3-month-old child found unresponsive in a locked vehicle. Deputies later arrested the infant boy's father, Mata, on one count of injury to a child causing death. Mata admitted to placing the child in the backseat of his vehicle and then going inside his residence to lie down. He had been drinking and forgot that his child was in the car. You can't fix these people. They have to be given a helicopter ride. Let's see if there's one in Indiana. Last year. Richmond woman charged after baby dies at her unlicensed home daycare. The chest compressions took over the 4 rounds of cardiac. Griffin was babysitting 8 children for pay. Baby Wilson was dropped around 7:30. The suspect said that Wilson played for hours until she played him in a sleep sack for a nap. Sleep sacks are defined as wearable blankets to aid in infant sleeping. Bottling. Nursing pillow witness who walking through the room. Regarding the baby boy, the witness called the police from himself and reported incident to officers. The final autopsy report classified the official death of positional asphyxiation, so suffocated. The baby suffocated. Not supposed to be born after 2 months. So your baby died because you wanted to be a girl boss, basically. That's what happens. Here's another one. Indiana daycare operator charged in infant's death facing new charges in separate child abuse and death. Oh, wow. Look at that. 2 different infants with the same person. The battery resulting in seriously bodily injury and one count of neglect. After a 2-month-old in her care was found to have a broken leg. Let's see. Picked up by a family member from an unlicensed in-home daycare operated by Baylor in Jeffersonville. You go off, Queen. The death of a Jefferson abrogated. So yeah, that's kind of what happens now. Oh, Calumet City. Oh no. Oh no. Being put down for a nap. Now, to be honest with you, I understand like the single mom situation where they don't have a choice. But when when you have a 2-parent household, you're going to have to figure out which one's more important. That your kid is going to be around some third worlder that's going to throw them into a baby seat or put them in a swaddle where they suffocate to death, or one of them's put into a hot van and forgotten about. That's what you're going to have to decide on. Of course, you do have those moms too that leave their toddler in a crib, and then they end up starving to death while you decide to go and party in Florida. But you always get those. This one. Yep, 5-year-old child was pronounced dead in a hospital at the Thursday afternoon. Left in the mother's car. Breathalyzer. There was no struggle session with the breathalyzer. I was having fun with that. What are you talking about? That was so much fun. Yeah, there was no struggle session. All right, let's see if Jesse's mad now. Let's see if he's mad. Wear a bulletproof vest. Yeah, I plan on. By the way, I have a bulletproof vest. I bought it for the No Kings protest. It's actually a concealed. So I'm deciding of like how I'm actually gonna do it too, because I normally don't carry like outside of my car. Like I'll carry inside of my car. So I'm trying to figure out how exactly I'm gonna do it. I might wear a suit jacket like this, maybe even this one. And then wear the concealed armor behind it. That way it's not so bulgy. But the gun is really going to be the tough part. That's gross. Reposting this so all the lefty hawks and apologists can come back on and try to tell us how safe downtown is. So true. Nothing happened. Hey, where'd my picture go? Where'd the picture go? That's so good. That's such a good picture. Oh, there was something too that I'm kind of working on right now. All right, so I wanna show you guys something. If you go out to the IDC Transparency Board and you go into sponsorships, I don't know if I can or can't. Sponsorships. Spelled it wrong. Oh, maybe it's ship? Not sponsorship. These are all the different sponsorships that the IADC has done. There's 2 pages, 43 different results. I haven't gone through all of them. I'm going to go through all of them. Probably tomorrow. But this one might be one of my favorites right here. This is the Andretti one from 2024. This is $550,000 for sponsorship. And what do you get for it? All right, so that's Exhibit A. Oh, it's. They don't have pictures on this one, you bastard. Witness a exchange for the sponsorship designation rights and benefits pursuant to an agreement. Payment dates, they're right there. Intellectual property. Okay, so you're going to get a sticker basically. They will receive an associate sponsor level brand integration on the assets for the AFE, which is the autonomous Formula E race team, and car number 1 and car number 17 entries at the races. You're gonna get you're gonna put it on the race car. It's a little sticker. It's probably like the size of a bagel, and you're gonna be able to put it on the top rear tire ramp, and then it's gonna be on the driver fire suit, the racewear, the garage system, the driver autograph card, the press release, and the marketing materials. That's what you're getting for $550,000. Now, on here, I don't think there's any picture. Oh, here it is, yeah. Creative concepts right there. And there it is right there. That little spot right there. Check that out. Isn't that the coolest thing? $550,000. Not just that, though. You're also getting a little spot right here on the shoulder, on the left shoulder patch right there. You're getting it on the little shoulder there for the Andretti wear. Now here's where things get really fun. For the Andretti race car. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Andretti, there it goes. Oh, yeah, don't worry, Kiff. It becomes a bigger scam. Bam. Okay, so a common event for a political candidate is Chambers' previous working relationship with Andretti. Andretti Autosport received millions in dollars in contracts. In 2022, IADC committed up to $19 in the form of conditional tax credits as well up to $125,000 in training grants to incentivize the Andretti company to bring its Universal Motorsports headquarters to Central Indiana. They also signed 2 Formula E sponsorship contracts with the IADC, one valued at $1 million, and a similar one, but separate, for $550,000, which is the one we just looked at. The one that we posted on Indy Reporter earlier was the $1 million one. They also signed 2 Formula... Oh, that was that one. Obviously, an iconic brand. And the opportunity for Andretti to build a $200 billion, $575,000 square foot facility. Where is it anyway? Also, I believe they held a fundraiser. That's the one I'm trying to find. There was a fundraiser that Andretti put on. I need to find the actual flyer for it. That's what I'm kind of struggling with right now. You want to look it up? Shall we look it up right now? I was trying to find Brad Chambers. So it's not built though, right? Because I thought they were expanding. He was the Secretary of Commerce under Holcomb. Here we go, friends. This was a year ago. Look at this one.
To you as a driver, you were focused on winning. Now, as a business person, you're trying to win in the global economy. And what's your philosophy on winning?
Winning's everything, and that's your motivator. You got to be thinking outside the box. You got to be thinking new thinking, things that haven't been done before that can change things. And I think you've done a lot of that with what you've done when you were Secretary of Commerce.
The value of having someone that's not from politics, having a business person, a CEO that has to win.
Wait, who's that? I don't know. But we should look up of everybody that's part of Buckingham Companies and find out where they are now. And here's the thing, though. What a scum! I said this, last year during the primary, was if Brad Chambers won, Indiana would be cooked. It would become a blue state in the next election because Chambers is a GDP bro. He looks at everybody as, how can I suck as much resources out of you? How much money can you produce for me? And and you obviously another Andretti commercial. Oh, is this it?
Senator, and why you are running for governor. I mean, if I look back at your 2018 campaign ads, you said you were opposed to career politicians.
Oh, that's not. Wasn't Brad Chambers the one that had the sign over by an Avon where the geese were pooping on it? I'm pretty sure. And by the way, I don't trust Doden either. Fuck Doden. Political outsider Brad Chambers raises $8.58 million in just 4 months. All right. Dude, I'm trying to find the flyer. He's got the Diego syndrome. I wish LinkedIn could actually give you like the date of when this thing was posted. Oh yeah, Crew Car Wash gave him a bunch. Oh, you know what? That got me wondering. I always wondered, obviously before I got into this kind of deal, I always wondered, I wonder how much money Chambers had given to Crew Car Wash. Car Wash 2. Crew Corps. Is that what it's called? The Crew Corps. Oh, it's 2005 anyway. Doesn't even matter. It's 2005. Is the Crew Car Wash under a different name? Yeah, Wiki. The name Crew. Crew Car. Joe Dom. Get Don here. Anyway. Yeah, I know. It's all money laundering. Well, then don't forget that, speaking of sponsorships, that IADC also sponsored the Autonomous Challenge. So not only did the IADC sponsor the Andretti Formula E, IADC also sponsored the Autonomous Challenge, where the Andretti Formula E was going to be racing it. Autonomous. Oh, did I spell that right? Oh, God. All right, spell check. Which was like $3 million, I thought. Yeah, the Indy Innovation Challenge, which was the Autonomous Challenge. Maybe it was $5 million. Maybe it was $5 million, actually. It was actually over $5 million. Indy. So, yeah. That's kind of what I've been working on. I'm also working on something extra special, too. Uh-oh. Oh, God, he got hype mogged again. Oh, no. Oh, man, we forgot to go to the Marion County Fair. We're doing that tomorrow. You awake? Oh, I'm going to the Marion County Fair tomorrow. He got height mogged. Oh, no. Boys, we got another one. Speaking of Diego. Oh, look, it's Paul N.A. and Cindy Mowry and Diego. That's so crazy. I'm bringing. Huh. That's just splendid. All right, I'm posting that on my Facebook. So funny. Wait, is he hold on. We got to do a gap check. We got to do a gap check right now. Hold on. Where's my mouse? All right, boys, we got to do a gap check right now. Boom, boom, bam. What do we got? Is he lifting up? He's lifting up. That's space, right? Hey, is he not computer enhance? Enhance. That's a gap. Is that a gap or no? Oh, I think that's a gap. Look, there's a shadow here. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Someone help me out. Is he lifting? Do we have a lifter, boys? I don't know. This will be my thumbnail. When I save this video, this is going to be the thumbnail of me looking at to see if Diego's lifting or not. That's a tough call. That's a tough call. I don't know. Anybody in the chat? Is he lifting right now? Kind of looks like he's trying to get an inch or two left. I don't know, boys. Listen, I'm not the kind of guy to make fun of somebody's height. I'm kind of short, so I'm kind of short at 6'4". Just kidding. From the waist down, maybe. Blah. It does look like Diego's growing some man boobs, though. No, there's something else I want to look. So he's working for the fair, right? Director. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That says director on it. Does that not say director? That says director. That says director. We need the 990s, okay? I'm going to have to email Marion County Fair Board tomorrow to get the 990s. We need to find out if he's a director or not. I don't know. I don't know. How long ago? That was 4 hours ago. I missed it. All right. I'm gonna check this one more time. Hey, see, Jesse got a laugh out of it. He got a laugh out of it. Okay. See? We can all have fun. We can all have fun. Come on. It's all in good fun. Who gives? Everything's dumb anyway. Indy's so fucking cooked. Got a bunch of that are doing it. All right, well, that's all I really got anyway. I'm doing more research. I'm gonna do research until like midnight. Do you guys even want to hang around and watch me do research? It's so boring. Okay, so the Indian Autonomous. Oh, there's a website? All right, let's check the website. is autonomous racing so fucking dumb. You're just having like a programmed car drive around. Hopefully, I get when it happens. All right. We got to find the people that are okay. Organizers. Yes. Wait a minute. Why does that sound familiar? Energy. Hold on. Well then, how do you like that, huh? How much money did you get, boys? From the Battery Innovation Center. Okay. A branded initiative of the CICP. Hold on. EA Energy. Okay, so they named their. Okay, another Chad Pittman thing. Kiff, are you listening? Okay, so. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right, you're making my eyes hurt. Delete. So we got the IEDC that gives money to the BIC. But also the Autonomous Challenge, IAC, which is the Indy Autonomous Challenge, right? But also the BIC giving money to that. Do I have that pretty well? Is that pretty well? No, I mean, hold on. Let me up a little bit. Oop. But it's not just that though. We got to look at the sponsors. Because we also have 912. And also Sports Tech. Good enough. That's also giving money to the IAC. Right? Kiff, am I right on this? Because the organizers are Battery Innovation Technology or Battery Center, or is BIC, but the sponsors that are giving money, well, yeah, by the way, also giving money to, the IAC. Makes you wonder what else they're giving. But we don't know what the contract, we can't see anything. That's the problem. There's probably a problem. The contract will work. What is early in energy? Okay. Energy Insight. Okay. Who's eligible? What you'll get? Program partners, which is for IADC and the ESN, which is Battery Innovation Tech. All right. Integrated partners. 912. Okay. Program partners. EMC squared, which is that. Shit. What is that? EMC squared. I think it's And I think it's in Indy. Yeah, Emerging Manufacturing Collaboration Center. I think this is in Indy, right? Yes. Yeah, 1250 Indiana Avenue. Program Partners is there. Partners to order can control a stack of hardware and software that would collect storage. Okay, so wait a minute. Why would that's battery innovation? Okay, so what is that? Hold on. I don't have to listen to anything else. I can take the headphones off. Okay. Got the battery innovation center. Or on your smart manufacturing journey, start a kit. Oh, but 912 is also getting. What about 9? Oh, okay. Okay, sir. Oh, okay. Anthony. $7 million. So couldn't. University should establish a number of partnerships in sector related to unconventional energy. Okay. Center for Unconventional Technology. Wait a minute. The grantees coordinating these initiatives and securing industry partnerships in order to catalyze the work of Center for Unconventional Energy at Purdue. Center for Unconventional Energy Profit. Oh, that's where I spelled it. Okay. Center for Intelligent Energy, not for Center. So where is grantees coordinating these initiatives and securing IU partners? The grantee shall subcontract with the Battery Innovation Center and Purdue University Q for, okay, so this is through 912? Yeah, this is through 912. That's awesome. Okay, so 912. All right, so, all right. Let's look at this real quick. Look at this shit. All right, so we got IADC. Hold on. You know what? Let me just bang. IADC. We got 912. We also have battery. Okay, boom. So what do we have here? We have the IADC giving money to 912, right? And then 912 giving that money to BIC, but both of these are owned by Chad Pittman. $2.1 million, by the way. All right, hold on. Let me see Exhibit A again. Because it says it has to work with her. And by the way, guess who is the research foundation? Purdue Research Foundation, right? Is that what I'm thinking of? Yeah, who's part of the Purdue Research Foundation. So you got Purdue, right? Purdue University. He's president of Purdue Research Foundation. The grantees shall subcontract with the Battery Innovation Center, which is part of Chad Pittman. but it's through the 912 contract. The cost share contribution to the IADC were provided in order to support economic development opportunities funding. Purdue University National Science Foundation research center to award of $40 million. Okay. The upstream and production of conventional oil and gas shall be blah blah blah. Yeah, but we don't know where that went. We actually don't know where it went to. So nothing. So nothing. Wonderful. All right. So what else we got? What else we got? We got applied. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. You guys ready? Applied research. Formerly 912 LLC. Same thing right here. $72,000. Watch this. What's exhibit? That's exhibit A. I need exhibit A. For a purpose. Cyber attacks are growing according to cyber. 12 refers to the nonprofit located in 16 Tech Innovation, which is by me. All right, so who runs the building? Who owns the building? Actually, that's what we need to know. Who owns the building? 1250. Bam. Boom. Bang. Boom. You think? No. Okay. Okay, who runs it? Who owns it? Next Level Manufacturing. All right, let's find out where they're at. Next Level Manufacturing. And Willow Street. So the people that own the motherfucking building is Chad Pittman. So Chad Pittman owns Next Level Manufacturing Institute, the building that's at the EM Squared. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. Dude, this is unbelievable right now. No one's going to get in trouble either. All right, new one. Biggity bam. New one. Ready? Set. Go. All right, so IADC. We have EMC squared. What was the other one going to? 912. 912 might actually be over here. 12. The merging. Okay, so they're buying it. So they're. Okay, hold on. I need another one. That's hilarious. Okay, so the building is a cross-sector manufacturing innovation office. Okay, so IEDC is paying for a building that's owned by Chad Pittman. You know what? I found a new tool in the toolbox today, by the way, by somebody that you know, Kiff, by accident. I found a perfect. Well, of course. It really has. The last time he donated was $250 to Kyle Walker, which was back in 2020. No big deal for the most part. What about everybody else? Nobody there. Okay. Nobody. Just telling you. Just showing you. It could have been through somebody else, though. It could have been through somebody else, though. It could have not been through. Let's see. Well, donors. Of expense. We could always do this. Do 912. Wait a minute. Committee candidate search by no. Try this. Change 912. No. Okay. Great American 912 project. Let's do. Good. Heck yeah, yeah. 12, 9, 12. I mean, it could have literally been through nothing. Oh, wait a minute. What? No contribution. Doesn't have to even be through contributions. They're just using all these different businesses of money laundering. Why you don't even have to give campaign money? Well, you could, but why would you? When you're the one running the show, you would just do it through sponsorship. Yeah, that's where the real power is at. If the IEDC has an unlimited amount of money, basically, you're using them as your bargaining chip, and you'll just sponsor them. So the question is, who else are they going to sponsor? The question is actually, who are they sponsoring that might have ties into other people? That's the real question. Back up? No. Oh, there it is. Am I spelling this wrong? Am I fucking stupid right now? Am I spelling sponsorship wrong? I know that I did it earlier. What the hell? I know that I spelled it right. What the shit? All right, let's try Golf Gives Back. Who runs Golf Gives Back? They probably have a website. Out. Right, Epic Back. Okay, this is go, boys. This is where we go. Is David Koch the brother of Eric Koch or Koch? Woodward Commercial Realty, probably not. Corporate Controller, Old National Bank. Well, you know that Old National Bank probably got money. I would expect so. Let's just give a quick looky though. Nothing. Okay. German American Bank. I am in the mood for a schnitzel. Who authorizes money to the IDC? The board. They authorize the money. They authorize the tax incentives. They authorize everything. Matt Foles. Why does this guy sound familiar? Matt Foles sounds familiar. You sound. Still. Hold on. Firm. Yeah, but the state. Yeah, but the state gives them the money. Different fold. I don't know. Probably nothing. All right, moving on. It's probably just nothing. That one's probably. All right. Cyber tech. A year of 24. have to go through. That's 50,000. For like people that play with chocolate, a confectionery. Yeah, the Sweet and Snacks Expo. Yeah, it's locked. 420. $225,000 for Bloomberg. Why? What are you getting off of that? Advertising it. $300,000 for crafting an authentic brand message for IADC with a differentiated story that will stand out in the market. You're just paying $300,000. You're fucking crazy, bro. All right, let's look at Exhibit A. You know this is going to be... Is there an Exhibit A? No, there isn't. That's crazy. You're paying $225,000 for some marketing on Bloomberg. Get out of here with that. All right. All right. I think I'm good. Everybody's out of here anyway. This is some alarming stuff right here, though. IADC is renting a building owned by Chad Pittman. That's where the partners are Applied Research Institute, Battery Innovation Center, and IADC. Look up one more. All right, nothing. Sharknado. Well, you're not watching anything that interesting anyway. Well, Sharknado is interesting, not me, though. I think this is... Okay, so if IADC giving money to 912, then 912 is giving to MIC, but they're also paying rent for the building on here, and these two is this building is owned by Chad Pittman. This company is also owned by Chad Pittman. EIC is a sponsor. Now I had it. I don't know. I had a second ago. Why is it? Oh. Don't know. Upcoming virtual industry day for stimulate manufacturing investment. $10 million each trying to stimulate manufacturing investment. Oh, membership and bookings. How much is a membership? Yeah, how much is a membership, boys? That's what I want to know. Become a member. Oh, here we go. All right, so you get 24 access to the building along with access to one dedicated desk. All of our dedicated desks have electronically controlled vertical adjustments, mechanisms allowed for... Okay. So what do you get for $200 a month? With access to one desk. With access to one. Oh, one's a hot desk and one is a dedicated. You're literally paying an extra $150. This reminds me of something that Spiro is at, like in Fishers. Basically just a building where you like do shit. Where you have a lot of startups for the most part. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I don't have member. Okay, well, you suck. How about that? I don't have access to the members term. Okay, well, you suck. So one of you guys need to get me in there. Hey, ask anybody in the chat. One of you guys need to get me in there. I want to take a tour. I want to check this place out. I want to see who's in there. Yeah, this is just like that place in Fishers. Let me forgot what it's called. Over by IKEA though. Whee! All right. Where is like back here? The technology has like somewhere over here. Oh, I think there's this place. Yeah, that one. Indiana IoT Lab. That's the one. Yep, that's the one. That's the same thing. Basically, it's just a building where everybody messes with their stuff. You get it instead of like buying a whole building to yourself. That's what you're doing. You're just buying a spot. So these are their partners. You got two. Services. And how much are they paying for that building? Love you, man. Dude, it's so crazy. Maybe we've been thinking about this all wrong. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. You got there. You're gonna make me download this thing. Send it to myself real quick. Oh yeah, give me roided up Diego for sure. I want juiced up, teed up Diego. I want to see. I want to see him like have a pit bull neck. Usually, what happens anyway. All right, page 35. Second 20. What am I looking at on page 35? All right, so all right, let me think out loud here for a second. How much did the building cost? $1.5 million is how much the building cost. Well, assessed value anyway. But it's new, so they might have just paid for the land. I don't know. What is it called? Emergent something? E squared, EMC squared, derp. There's 2 of them. Back in 24. Got a $104,000. Crap just happened. Term of office least amount. Okay, so two-year contract. All right, 3 years. Five. Leasing out some more. What is the building and cross-sector manufacturing? Premium price IDC. 1 desk at access to me. Are you kidding me right now? This agreement provides the IADC 1 desk as well as access to the meeting rooms, training rooms, event space, storage space for the annual IADC Entrepreneur Public. That's awesome. Basically, the IADC is paying for this building. You are paying for this building. Like there's an amendment previous time. Huh. Okay. Okay. What's the plan now? Ha ha ha. How about Chad Pittman and Brad Chambers? Let's look up Grok. Go through Grok real quick. Let's see. Yeah. Let's just see what we got off of that. You got $143 million of contracts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. Got a message. Go. All right, so there's nothing there. problem is with the CICF is everything's connected through there. Like they're massive money launderers. I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about. CICF 990. Central Indiana Community Foundation. No, I'm on to something. To mobilize people, ideas, investments to make this community where all individuals have equitable opportunity to reach their full potential. Now let's look at this is what cracks me up. $27 million on what? We help people invest in the causes that matter most to them. $6.5 million. We award grants to effective not-for-profit organizations. $3.9 million. We provide leadership to make Central Indiana a better, more beautiful, and more equitable community. $37.7 million on all that, on this blanket statement bullshit. Yeah, if CF got anything. Well, it would be under. Right. There we go. From 2024. That much money, 177. Oh, for Gang. Wow. So that went through the IEDC. No, hold on. 6-1. Wait a minute. 5 North Alabama. That was 333. Like in some like shitty ass building. Yeah. What are you working with? Having yourself a burner? All right, so they got 177 grand for what? For a gang. That's crazy. I actually have to send this over to somebody. This is crazy. Is there anything about the gang and the CICF? They're gonna laugh their ass. What do you have? Where is... This was the person that was giving me the... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna end it here in a second. I gotta think about this. I need to find a way to explain this to normies. and why this matters. Yeah, that's the real question. Is like, well, why does this matter? Why should I care about this? Well, you know, I kind of care about where my money is going. Because if someone is profiting off of our tax dollars, I think we should all know. Just saying. All right. I'm out of here. Don't forget Tuesday. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I think I'm going to talk about